Yes, people. Wagwan. You good? Hope so. Where we at? Guessing you want to know how the 22nd played out. I don't know whether to give you reasons or to give you excuses. I'm going to start with excuses. Yeah. I did say to you guys that March is busy. So that's excuse number one. Excuse number two is I said to you lot that I was riding the wave of chaos that started on like Friday. Do you know what I mean? So and if you watched yesterday's video, you know it's still the weekend anyway. So yeah, that's excuses out the way. Oh boy. So reasons. There really ain't one. I've given you excuses. You don't need both. But the long and short of it is simply this. Did I do 15k? No. Did I try to do 15k? No. What I actually tried to do was the bare minimum. I was at work. Work wasn't particularly busy. So, and being the weekend, I was on side quests. So my plan was, don't tell the gaffer. What my plan was, do some work on the bits and pieces I'm modifying for the camper van now. If you know, if you've been keeping up, you know that I'm dabbling in a little bit of the van life thing. So I've been working on modifying some headlights, and I thought, you know what, the weather's nice, the sun's out, there's some bits I need to spray. This is a good opportunity to do it, especially if I'm not being called out every 5 minutes. So in between jobs, because I was still working, I was back and forth in and applying coats of paint and leaving that to dry and da. Long and short of it is I managed to get my headlights to a position where I can just leave them alone and give them a few days to dry out properly before I move on to the next steps. So at least that's done. Yeah? I'm trying to micromanage my time. In the duration of the day between that and working, I managed to get about, I think it was about 8,000 steps or 7,000 steps roughly. At which point I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna live. Yeah. So I didn't walk. I didn't decide to go out and do an external walk. I thought, you know, sorry, I will just continue my pottering about and doing what I have to do for the day. And as long as I hit the 10, which I should, then fair play. Yeah. What I'm realizing is with all the external other stuff I have going on, obviously camping season's coming up and all of that, I want the van to be ready by then. So I'm trying to do a million and one other things, as well as the stuff that I have to do, and as well as this whole walking regime. And at the minute, I'm really not juggling all of this very well. Partially down to me. I'm overstretching myself. But it's all necessary. I can't really let anything fall to the wayside, because if you start slacking in any one particular area, everything falls apart anyway. And right now I'm heavy on hitting my targets, so I am trying to make sure that I cover the bases across the board. Okay, where does that ultimately leave us for the 22nd? Like I said, it was a bare minimum effort. I had other stuff to do, and it is what it is. In this instance, yes, I got over the 10,000, as you can see. Yep, so I ended on 10,959 steps, which according to Pedometer Plus Plus is 4.8 miles, which is cool. It's not quite the 5 miles, but it's the 10,000 steps exceeded. So as a minimum benchmark, I'm good. And I'm not slacking to the point where I ain't doing anything productive. So I'm not going to slack myself too much, but I'm going to be mindful. Like I said, this month is a busy month and I'm trying to stay afloat of everything. So there's going to be days like this. Just got to surf the wave and not fall off and drown in it. But one thing I will tell you guys is no matter what, I will try to make sure that I hit the minimum. I spoke to you a few days ago about looking into a little side hustle business venture type thing. And I've got that coming over, or I'm going to have to start working towards that also in the forthcoming week. And that's my biggest concern, because initially things are going to be time consuming and I'm still going to have to do everything else. If you guys have any tips, because my problem is everything's in my head. It's all cerebral. I know I got to do this. I know I got to do all that. I know I got to do this. And it's like, you know what? I then go off emotion as to what becomes important. In fact, everything's important. But I've got this little thing where I can't be asked. So if I decide I can't be asked, then that priority level for that particular task drops dramatically. And the problem with that is sometimes it's the most important things that I can't be asked to do, or the most painful, or the most whatever. If you guys have a better way of managing those kind of processes than just saying I can't be asked, please make some suggestions, because like I said, this isn't just about the walking, it is about becoming more disciplined. So if you guys can teach me a trick or two to help me achieve that, much appreciated. If you've got any suggestions, throw them in the comments. I will have a read. I will try and figure out a better strategy. It's needed. Like I said, I feel like I'm juggling so many things at the moment. I knew March was going to be busy. And look at it. We're 20 odd days in. I still haven't even spun the block and looked at adding skipping to the regime, or do you get what I mean? Or anything. I'm just basically hanging on by a thread almost at the minute in terms of this walking journey. So if you guys can suggest stuff that will help me to keep the ship afloat, I would definitely appreciate that. This is how bad it is today. I'm sure you recognize the cup. I didn't even have time to make coffee this morning, so I've had to buy one. So I'm still riding the wave. It's not even a coffee, it's a latte. There's sugar in it, frothy milk, etc. But like I said, I'm riding the wave of chaos this weekend, and Monday I will fix up. People, I'm gone. Like I said, if you've got any better time management or prioritizing strategies that I can try and implement, suggest them in the comments, and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Peace.